Chapter 5, The Little White Grave. More than 10 years later, Grandma gave birth to 6 children, and my father was the youngest. The talisman, wrapped in a small embroidered pouch, was hung around his neck the moment he was born. Decades passed, and the talisman was passed down to me. I was very naughty as a child, only 5 or 6 years old. I didn't take the talisman seriously at all. Luckily, it was wrapped in the pouch and tied around my neck with several red strings, so I never lost it. All in all, I treasured that pouch. But one day, driven by greed, I traded it to Fatty Chew from the neighboring yard for a bag of popping candy. When I got home, Dad found out. He didn't hesitate. He gave me a good beating, then took 5 yuan to Fatty Chew and bought the pouch back. He tied it tightly around my neck again and warned me that he would beat me to death if I ever lost it again. I wanted to tell Dad that he'd wasted his money. A bag of popping candy only cost 50 cents, but I was too scared to speak when I saw his furious face. More than 10 years went by like this. Grandpa passed away when I was in the 9th grade. I drifted into high school, and I remember I was 17 in my 2nd year. I was a bad student, only good at doodling in my textbooks all day. Seeing this, Dad sent me to an art class at a county vocational high school after graduation. The students there were just like me. We all hated studying and only came to get a diploma or maybe luck into a second-rate college. The real reason I wanted to go to high school was that I fantasized about girls in short skirts in summer. I'm sure many teenagers my age thought the same way. Adolescent desire is powerful, filling those 3 high school years with rosy, lustful daydreams. But high school turned out nothing like I imagined. There were plenty of pretty girls, but I had to accept the truth. All the nice girlfriends belonged to other guys. By the time I realized this, I was already a sophomore. I understood that with no money and ordinary looks, I'd be lucky to have an average-looking girl for my first love. Yet, even with low standards, I remained single. It was really pathetic. There were only 11 students in my art class and just 2 boys. The other boy, besides me, spoke with a limp wrist and was nicknamed Sissy. Even with a 9-to-2 girl-to-boy ratio, not a single girl liked me. Luckily, my 2 art teachers were really cool. They were the first teachers who let us smoke in class, old Jia, who taught sketching, and old Zhang, who taught color painting. Together, they were nearly 90 years old, but they got drunk every day and gave us cigarettes when they were drunk. One afternoon during sketching class, the principal passed by our studio and found us eating sunflower seeds while drawing. Old Jia was drunk and reading Jean Ping, he'd taken from the school library. The principal asked him to step into the hallway to talk. Before they could exchange a few words, the drunk old Jia slapped the principal twice across the face, leaving him stunned. When the principal asked why, old Jia only said, "I hate your arrogant attitude." He then ran back to grab a stool to attack. Fortunately, the principal ran away fast, and we held old Jia back, begging him not to risk his job. Grumbling, old Jia went back inside and continued reading. When he sobered up, he got scared and went to apologize to the principal. The principal seemed intimidated and let it go. Overjoyed, old Jia insisted on treating the principal to a drink, but the principal refused, afraid old Jia would hit him again. After that, the principal never came to our studio again, and we enjoyed our freedom. We admired our teachers' free-spirited personalities. Even without a girlfriend, I felt quite content. One summer morning, old Jia and old Zhang told the 11 of us we were going sketching in the suburbs. I was thrilled. Anyone who studied art knows summer and autumn are perfect for outdoor sketching, but in name only. We actually went to play, eat, and drink. In summer, we'd steal watermelons. In autumn, corn to roast. Few of us actually painted. It was just a perfect excuse to skip class. The girls in the studio chattered with excitement. Old Zhang called Yang Su the sissy boy and me aside, gave us money, and told us to empty our art bags to buy liquor, peanuts, sausages, and seasonings for a big feast at noon. The art bags were meant for drawing boards, and each could easily hold a dozen bottles of beer. We bought supplies at a nearby grocery store, then rode our bikes to the school gate, where the girls and the two teachers were waiting. We rode to a scenic river near the suburban dam. This river was called Bacha River, a tributary of the Yalu River. As its name suggests, it had many small branches. Not far downstream was the Nun River. The water was clear, and people still released turtles there to accumulate virtue. But most of them were just making excuses. Fishermen downstream would catch the released turtles and sell them back to people who wanted to set them free. The river had a local nickname, the Little White Grave. Elders said that during the Republic of China era, a severe drought struck. Not a drop of rain fell until July, and Bacha River nearly dried up. The crops were ruined, and many people would have fled their homes. One day, in August, a dry thunder crashed from the sky, and a white dragon fell to the ground. It caused a huge sensation, and villagers for miles around came to see it. The dragon was dying. A capable man in a yellow hat appeared out of nowhere and said the dragon was the water god of this land, banished for breaking heaven's laws. It couldn't survive. He told everyone to cover the dragon with wet straw mats. Strangely, the dragon's body kept growing longer the more they covered it. The man quickly told them to cover it from both the head and the tail at the same time. This worked, and the dragon died soon after. The man said the dragon was a divine creature and deserved a water burial even in death. Amid drums and gongs, they carried the dragon into the nearly dry Bacha River. Miraculously, as soon as the dragon entered the water, dark clouds gathered and a heavy downpour began. The water level rose quickly and covered the dragon's body. The villagers rejoiced, their crops were saved. When they looked for the mysterious man, he was gone. People said he was a god who had come to help them through the disaster. Since the river buried the little white dragon, people called it the Little White Grave. It was indeed a magical river, with many more stories to tell later. The suburban air was fresh, greenery lined the road, and wildflowers were in full bloom. The scent of flowers and soil blew toward us, feeling wonderful. I listened to Sissy chatting happily with the girls, while old Jia and old Zhang talked about which massage parlor to go to that night. I thought, what a buzzkill. I wished I had a girlfriend sitting behind my bike, holding me tight. How romantic that would be. But reality hit. Only a heavy art bag was behind me. We reached Bacha River around noon. Old Jia and old Zhang said, "Girls, get ready. Paint if you want or relax. Don't go into the water or wander far. Boys, get things ready and cook." Yang Su and I were annoyed. Damn it, we were nothing but slaves in this class, with no male privileges at all. I said to old Zhang seriously, "Teacher Zhang, we're here to sketch. Surrounded by such beautiful nature, I'm eager to paint. Can you feel how strong my passion for art is right now?" Old Jia didn't buy it. He kicked my butt and cursed, "Paint my ass. When have you ever painted? I know you too well. Go catch frogs for me now." I had nothing to say. Hold am I, but I went with Yang Su to look for streams by the river. I thought, so, old Jia isn't that stupid. He saw through my trick right away. The frogs old Jia wanted weren't toads. They were small frogs in the streams nearby, tender and delicious when roasted, perfect with liquor. They bred heavily in June and July, with huge numbers. The trick to catching them was to take off shoes, step into the water, and stir it up. The muddy water scared the frogs hiding under stones or in sand to come out. Wait for them to calm down, then grab them quickly. Almost always successful. Once caught, slam them onto the bank to kill them.